My lady, but I'm buying it for somebody. I'm not going to drink it. You need my ID? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is a rainy Sunday for us in paradise, but we move. This week we begin with Thanksgiving. Like I told you guys, it was a holiday. I was really happy. I spent the whole day at home. I did absolutely nothing. Loved it. But then in the evening I went out for dinner with my friends. It wasn't anything fancy. It was just like a pizza date, like our Friendsgiving dinner, but that was really cool. Hopefully we can make it a tradition. The weather was trash on that as well. The weather didn't give us a chance, but we still had a good time. That was my Thanksgiving. Grateful nonetheless. Tuesday. So because Monday was a holiday, the week like automatically shortened. So Tuesday was a regular day, trying to catch up with having missed Monday in terms of work and everything. I didn't vlog, and then I did my show in the evening as normal. This week was also Teachers Week. So the Ministry of Education launched a campaign entitled Present, meaning proudly representing each school, exalting our nation's teachers. So the challenge was for everybody to wear a uniform from a school that they had attended in honor of those teachers. So Wednesday was day one. It was 2 days. It was Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday was day one. I must apologize. I didn't vlog too much because, like I said, because it was a shortened week, it's almost like everything was just jam-packed into Tuesday and Wednesday. So there was so much going on. But I did represent my primary school, Dimple Louise Primary, and I can put the photo here so that you guys can see. For those of you who don't follow me on social media, you might have missed it. So yeah, so I chose my primary school. A lot of people were doing secondary schools, but to me, if I want to go back, I want to go to a time when there were no bills, and I felt like primary school days were just my happiest days. So I chose Dimple. To those of you who have been here for a while, you would have remembered from my primary school diaries vlog that I had said that I had gone to 2 primary schools. So I went to Kamenreni, and then I was transferred to Dimple when it opened. So I did kindergarten to grade 4 at Kamenreni, and then I did grades 5 and 6 at Dimple. I love Kamenreni, but like I told you guys in that vlog as well, as much as I have good friendships from Kamenreni, like amazing friendships, most of the teachers who taught me are no longer there. My principal is no longer there. So when I go to Kamenreni, the people who know me there are either Mr. Narcissus, who was in class with me, or the principal knows me as a singer, but she doesn't know me as a student. And also Kamenreni, I have some good memories, but I have a lot of bad memories there as well, because I endured a lot of physical abuse at Kamenreni. So Dimple was my first option, not gonna lie. I went to Mirage to get the uniform. By the way, y'all, uniforms are expensive. Let me shout out to all the parents, including my mother, because I don't know how y'all were buying multiple uniforms. Uniforms are very expensive. Wow. I guess it's cheaper if you get them made, but if you have to buy them from Mirage, and Mirage made a lot of money this week, a lot. But from the beginning, I had already said that I didn't want to just wear the school uniform. If it was about teachers, I wanted to reach out to some of the teachers who I felt had been influential in my life, and so I I went to the supermarket on Wednesday to try to get some wine. That was interesting in itself. I do have some footage from that, so let me let you all see that. I'm in the supermarket trying to buy wine. I feel like people judging me. I wonder if I could get somebody to cash that for me. Cash these things for me. You have an Ave Maria uniform. We don't have it. Somebody have to cash that for me.
Somebody have to cash that for you. So, are you cashing it? I don't know. I have to pay myself. Did I pay myself?
They only have the big one. Hey, Randy. Randy, how are you? I look the same. It's true. My lady, you can cash these things for me. Gorgeous. I stick in that. You think they'll ask me for my ID card? Things doing cling, cling, cling. You cannot cash that for me?
I would have to, but I would arrest you simply.
They're going to arrest you? They arresting you for that? Just cash that for me. My lady, you must not judge me.
I don't judge you. I just tell you.
You got my girl.
I asking the mister to cash it for me.
You a big pussy on.
Wow. But you want to cash the thing for me and the people judging me for the little wine I buy there, you. It's not a good day. It's not a good day for me. My lady, you could cash these things for me. Why the lady laughing? You asking a serious question. I asking a serious question. You're laughing at me. Did not shut, my lady. Don't say that. My lady, you can cash these things for me. My lady, don't laugh. That's a serious question. You can cash these things for me. I just ask you to cash it. Just come and cash it for me. You put it with your things. Nobody wants to cash the thing for me, y'all. I'm struggling here. I'm going by the cashier, I don't know. My lady, that's not mine. I'm buying it for somebody. Why are you laughing at me? My lady, I'm buying it for somebody, okay? It's not mine, okay? That's for somebody. Everybody laughing at me. Come on, Ethan. My lady, can I get a bag? 2 bags for the person. Not for me, not for me. My lady, but I'm buying it for somebody. I'm not going to drink it. You need my ID? Yes, you're really strict inside of it. My school ID counts? I give you my school ID. Oh, jeez. It's really hard on me here. You think my mother must do me that? Send me and do so much message. The bag heavy. I have to walk all the way to the bus stand. People ask me for my ID. Now I really take today. Crazy. Now I hope the bus driver charge me train price. Next page. The bus full in and I don't get the seat I wanted. In true schoolgirl fashion, I will pick and choose my bus. So Thursday now, I started to track down all of my teachers. I chose 9 teachers to honor this Teachers Week because I felt like they were the ones who had the most impact, not just on me as a student, but even now as an adult. These teachers keep in touch, and that means like, or they will see me out somewhere and they will always come to speak to me and congratulate me and say how proud they are and whatever. So yeah, so each of those teachers received a bottle of wine and a personalized letter detailing how much they've impacted me and how much I benefited from being their student, and how thankful, how grateful I was for everything I am. How grateful I am for everything that they've done for me. Because I don't like to assume people know. And some of these teachers really did a lot for me. more than they would want me to say. So yes, so on Thursday I started delivering those gifts. I had to track down most of my teachers because a lot of them are no longer employed at the same schools, or some of them are no longer teachers. So I had to track them down, but thankfully I'm mobile, so I could drive around and drop the stuff. So it was just a lot of nostalgia, walking back into those schools and in those spaces and remembering my times there, and just being grateful for the experiences. So before I start rambling anymore, let me get down to the teachers I chose to honor this week. So from primary school, let's begin. Miss Juliana Prosper. Miss Prosper was always our glammed up teacher. She had the nails, she had the hair, she used to come well together, she had her foundation, she always had her makeup well done. She was strict with us, like when she needed to be strict, and she was loving. That lady was everything. She was a ball of energy. She always used to bring the vibes, and she was always the teacher, like, you know, like the cool teacher. Like you could go and tell stuff and whatever, like it was Miss Prosper. Miss Gail Umi. Now, I spoke a little about the physical abuse that I endured at Cameroon. But I mean, just to give them an idea of the situation, there was a guy in Standard 4 when I was in kindergarten who used to physically beat me up. Like my face used to be swollen. Physically, like, beat me up. At the time, it wasn't kindergarten, no, I lie. It wasn't kindergarten, because when I was in kindergarten, I had Miss Mero. But by that time, it was Miss Elliott as principal. And bless her heart, she did nothing for me. She did nothing to control the situation. Absolutely nothing. She said nothing, she did nothing. Miss Umi. Miss Umi was the one who, like, stepped in and was making noise in the principal's office. Like, how can you say you cannot do anything? The boy's beating up the child and whatever. And I never forget that. Miss Umi was the... she was our gangster teacher. She was our... Excuse me? She loved her. Yeah. I'm just going to be quick because I don't want to be emotional in this vlog. Okay? Alright. So yeah. That's one of the moments that meant a lot to me. Miss Diedoni. Miss Diedoni was vice principal for us at Dimplet. Transitioning to a new school was really tough on me. Emotionally and mentally, it took a toll. Miss Diedoni was our mathematics lessons teacher. Even though she was vice principal, she was a mathematician to the bone. She was the person who would we could have gone to for questions, and I was always struggling with maths. I could have gone to and asked her, like, I'm not understanding this and that concept, and she would say, you have to come to my office this afternoon. Okay, come to my office this afternoon. And it was always a little group of us who she would meet with after school and go through concepts. So, man, that's my most memorable memory with Miss Diedoni. Miss Leos, our principal was strict. She was stern, but she was fun. But in terms of my favorite memories with Miss Leos is not even at school. It was long after I left Dimplet. Even to this day, like, she will come to a show that I'm doing or something, and she'll always be like, hey, my student, yes, that's my student, everything is my student. Just that sense of belonging. Like, I'll always be a student. No matter how old I get, wherever she see me, it's my student, and I love that. Miss Eugene. Like, when I think about my teachers, I had some really good teachers. Miss Eugene, love her. Absolutely love her. She was fun. She ensured we understood everything. She was the kind of teacher who would give 152%. Okay? She went hard for us. We always had activities. We always went out. My most memorable experience was when she organized for us to do the common entrance camp in collaboration with Moshi. Because she was so much fun. Like, she was part of... Ooh, I can't give the secrets of the camp, because I think Moshi still runs that camp. But yeah, like Miss Leos, even long after, to this day, I left Dimplet since the day. Anywhere I see Miss Eugene, like, she recognizes, like, it is Love her, absolutely love her. Miss Jules, who is now Mrs. Jules Meyer. Miss Jules saved me when I left Cameroon because I had already gone through so much with that guy and all of the abuse and everything, all the bullying and everything I took at Cameroon. When I went to Dinpolet, I was fighting people. Like anything you tell me, it was on. Anything. I went to Dinpolet with Timberlands. That's how I came there to fight. Okay, I wasn't taking any shit from nobody. It's a new school and I wanted to ensure that the reputation I set... Okay, I don't know what that was. That the reputation I set was that I was not to be messed with. Because I was not going through the same cycle of having been abused and teach principal can't do nothing to help me. I wasn't doing that again. One thing about me. I was fighting. Like I was just any little thing I was fighting. So, very, very early, I was being singled out as a troublemaker at Dinpolet from very early. I had gotten licks in front of the assembly, like I told her, maybe about 3 times. Miss Leos beat me in front of the assembly, and I was just like, okay. And I wasn't like okay at the time, because let me tell you, Miss Leos had a stick that was thick, and it was hurting. When after Miss Leos finished beat you, you have to go in the bathroom and wash your hands because it is hurting you so much. I remember it was just that's the routine, but it was about 3 times I had gotten punished in front of the assembly, and I can't remember who. I cannot remember who instructed that I be sent to choir for punishment, because at the time Dinpolet, a co-curricular activity was mandatory, so everybody had to have a co-curricular activity. I was already in PAN, and then all of a sudden they put me in choir for punishment. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm not going to stay in choir, so it's not going to bother me. I'm not staying in choir, so I said okay. I think like there was a time period, maybe like a couple of months or whatever, or a couple of sessions, or if it's free sessions you had to stay or whatever. But I remember it was 3 of us that they put in choir. I don't think I should mention the other people. I remember it was 3 of us, and I know that they put us in choir for punishment. And I remember just thinking, like, I'm just going to stay there for whatever number of sessions, if it's 3 sessions, and then I'll be about my business. Miss Jules. Miss Jules. I don't know. I can't remember what exactly it was that she did. I don't know if you all know, like, the saying where they said, like, persons may not always remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. It was that situation for me. I cannot remember what exactly she did, but I just remember feeling like I needed to be there. And I remember feeling like I belonged there. I remember feeling like I didn't want to be a troublemaker anymore. She just used to talk to us. She used to take time. And I just always think of it with amazement when I think about how I didn't want to be in choir and I didn't want to sing. Because I feel like the motive behind putting us in choir was because we were always in front of the assembly for licks. And I don't know if it was Miss Leos who decided that, if it was the principal who decided that, and then she was just like, well, you're going to be in front of the assembly for another reason. So we were in front of the assembly every week to sing. And then I never got into trouble after that. I never fought after I joined the choir. It was just strictly singing and music from there. And saying thank you to Miss Jules meant a lot to me, especially because of how far I've come and how much that initial nurturing has fostered a love of music inside of me. And wow, like sometimes you just have to let people know, like, this is what happened as a result of your actions. So going back to see Miss Jules, that was top tier for me. That meant a lot to me, just to say thank you to her. Friday now I go to deliver to Mr. Solomon, who taught me office administration. Wow, Mr. Solomon was a jokester. Like, Mr. Solomon used to say, like, literally the action, it's all about me. It's not about you. Nothing is about you. Like, Mr. Solomon was our teacher. And as much as he joked, he cared about us, and he cared about the grades. He always ensured that everybody in his class understood. And that meant so much to us, let me tell you. Oh, it was my favorite class of the day. Always my favorite class. To this day, he's still one of my favorite teachers. So I wanted to ensure that I said thank you to him. Miss Biru. Miss Biru was my music teacher. So she took the mantle from Miss Jules. So Miss Jules laid the foundation, and Miss Biru nurtured the plants. Miss Biru is my favorite. I don't know, like Miss Jules and Miss Biru. Miss Biru is the reason I know some of these songs that nobody else my age knows. I had to hunt her down at her new school, and she was in the music lab. When I got there, Miss Biru is there. Like, I could just feel the positive spirit and everything just walking up the steps, and she's teaching the primary school children gospel. And I remember when we used to go up to our music lab, it was always gospel playing. There was always gospel. And she used to just create an atmosphere of just peace. Oh my God. So when I was walking up, I was just like, Sophie, don't cry. You know you're ready. Just don't cry. Do not cry. Do not cry. So I went into the classroom, and then I gave her gifts. Boy, Miss Biru. Miss Biru was a good teacher, man. She was strict first time. She wasn't taking no shit, huh? We used to come to choir and they skirt under the bum. Not on Miss Biru's watch. Not me though, but other people. So when I left Miss Biru, I'm realizing I still have 2 gifts in the car. So I'm like, how I have 2 gifts in the car? So then I realized I forgot Miss Charles at the Impolite. I forgot her gift. Because when I went to the Impolite, my hands were so full. I said I'd drop everybody else when I come back for Miss Charles. I forgot Miss Charles. So I had to go back to the Impolite to ensure that Miss Charles got her gift. Because no way I could ever not say thank you to Miss Charles. Miss Charles is another gangster. Miss Charles. Miss Charles wasn't taking anything for us. Miss Charles, nobody couldn't tell us anything. Anybody that tried and say anything about us. Miss Charles was our fun teacher. She was our energetic. She was the one that we could get to dress up and to do things with us. When we tried to do a little skit before the assembly, Miss Charles. And I feel like we needed that balance of persons. But even when she sees me out to this day, it's always, yes, girl, I saw you on this, da da da. How are you? Da 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 da. Love her. Absolutely love her. Friday was half day for the schools. A lot of parents have to leave early to get their children and stuff out of school. So I had one more gift, and I was not able to deliver it on time. I actually still have it, and it's for Miss Bissett. So I will deliver it next week. But Miss Bissett was my social studies teacher. She was as tall as me. She was as tall as me, so we always used to call each other Shorty. So it was Shorty and Shorty. Always well put together, always very caring, very kind, but she was not to be messed with. She was the kind of teacher that you give her and she giving it to you back. Loved her. Loved her, loved her, loved her, loved her. In the afternoon on Friday, we had a little get-together at work. Sort of like an assembly, where all the students who dressed up came together, but even the other staff members who didn't dress up also came together. And we were just talking a little bit about our favorite teachers and the teachers who had the most impact on us, and the little things that those teachers did that made us the people that we were today. I felt like that was very powerful in itself, because even though some of our staff were teachers before, but even though we were not teachers ourselves, it really forced us into reflection. And I feel like the present initiative brought a lot of offices together, because it wasn't just our office. I saw snaps and statuses from other persons in their various departments at their various jobs who had get-togethers on a Friday. So they brought all the students, all the persons who were dressed in uniforms. They brought them together, and they brought the rest of their staff members together. That is very important, because we missed out on not family. We missed out on staff gatherings for the last 2 years because of COVID. And even if our department, we found that long after we had finished telling all our stories, and we had finished eating, we shared food and stuff. Long after that was done, people were still around, like just talking. Like normally, people let's be fast to go at their home, especially in our office. Fast. 6 o'clock, 6:30, people were still there talking.
What your uniform?
Not assembly, not assembly.
We have communication person waiting to start.
Like it should be an annual event, but I feel like people should also look past just the uniforms and look at the reason for the event, and try to reach out to your teachers, because a lot of us assume that our teachers know that they were good teachers, but it's always good to say thank you, you know. And not just that, a lot of our teachers don't teach anymore. So, it's good to catch them before they retire. So at least they know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to close up the vlog here. Let me thank you guys for coming back and watching this video yet again. And of course, if you're new here, my name is Steffi. And I bring you a video every week from the beautiful island paradise of St. Lucia. So if you are interested in vlogs and videos of this kind, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Guys, before you leave, don't forget to leave a like on this video for me. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye. See y'all then. Love y'all.